So the reason we've taken so long with this next video we've been waiting for Leopard to respond to all sorts of confirmations about the remaining warranty issues. Anyway, we were just about to release this video stating that they hadn't responded because we sent them almost a final email with the final items that needed to be approved, a very, very small list of items. We sent it to the head honcho on Monday, and we had absolutely nothing back from anyone, and it's now Friday, so Monday the 20th, and it's now Friday, whatever that makes it, the 24th. Anyway, we decided just to give him a call, and when we gave him a call, he really went on about the fact that we've got to communicate directly with the correct channels, but you remember our channel in South Africa was actually not communicating with us. You know, he also, in his email from April, had said that we shouldn't use WhatsApp, we should use email. So the problem there is that we can't communicate, or we get nothing back. It's just a big black hole. Anyway, he confirmed that he'd sent it to the guy in Cape Town and that we should have the approval soon. So this is just why we've taken so long, and I think from here on we're just going to wait and see. He made some interesting statements. He said that he never declines proper factory warranty. In other words, but look, let's see. I mean, we're about to see this now. So he asked me to resend the list to Marcel and the, let's say, factory warranty person. And he said that we will get a response. And that unless it's a totally invalid item or something like this, you know, they'll take care of it. So we're hoping that this is the case. But the problem, though, with Leopard can be, not always, Marcel's been quite good, you know, mostly. But the problem with Leopard can be that you get no response, and that's the issue. When you're a new boater just having bought $1 million boat, I think it's reasonable to expect a response. So we're going to put this video up and we'll review the response, but in theory by our next video, I mean, it's taken so long, we should be able to use it to say to you that Leopard have agreed to the repair of the items that need to be repaired, the replacement of the items that need to be replaced, and the refunding of the items that needed to be refunded. Now remember, we didn't have any approvals in November and January. It was just almost impossible to get an approval, except on Marcel's side. You know, he would give us the verbal approval pretty quickly. So now, other than the emails we're waiting for from Leopard, we're looking for the final approvals. Let's see how long that takes. And then it becomes a case of talk is cheap and money buys the whiskey. So they would have approved everything. Now they need to refund and repair and replace. So let's wait for those approvals. So this is the start, or actually the second phase of the repair of the damage done by Yacht Port when Leopard sent us up there for the 3 repairs that they wanted. So I'm sure soon they'll sand that and then cover that over. You remember during our Atlantic crossing we had massive leaks of water coming through these diesel heater exhausts. This is us removing those exhausts to stop those leaks. You know, hopefully then the boat won't sink. Leopard have agreed to refund us the money for the shoddy exhaust diesel heater install. It's looking así, sir. So I had this extra block made, this raised block here to raise this line. I even made the chafe plate at an angle you can see going off to the right or aft. So in effect that this is a good temporary solution. I mean, it's but what I really want from Leopard is the straightforward advice on a permanent solution. In other words, how to fix their problem. So quite frankly, the issue here to me looks like that block over there is straight in line from there through this block to this one there. So that the problem is, as you can see, the line doesn't go into the roller. So in order for that to happen, if it went into the roller, then the roller would be picking that up, and we could use the chafe plate that they had before, in other words a flat one. Now the only way I can really see to fix this, after months and months of consideration, where my fingernail is, I can feel it moving, so this is not a permanent solution at all, because there is unbelievable pressure on this. This is like a rock. Anyway, you can see this moving along the line, moving along here. Now the only solution, I think, but I thought this might be a solution. Of course it's not, because it's not a proper one, because the line doesn't go, it lifts the line off of the edge of the block and stops from chafing, but the line doesn't go into the roller. So I think that the only solution is to move this entire piece of molded, I'm assuming this is molded, maybe it isn't molded, and that's how come this boat is different from others. According to the Leopard guy, it's the first time they've ever seen this problem. But if it's molded, how can that be? So maybe this isn't molded, maybe this gets put on afterwards and was put on in the wrong position. But I expect that this needs to be moved back about 10 centimeters to about here. Maybe even more, maybe even 15, just to make sure that it actually goes into that roller. As I say, I've been looking for a solution, and finally Carib Marine have come here today, and they've said that they think that what they're going to do, they haven't confirmed it, but is to chop this off and basically to rebuild it, to move it just backwards, so at exactly the same angle as it is now, and just to move it backwards by pretty much an inch, 3 centimeters. And we're hoping that that will then have the effect of turning this around. If that doesn't work, I still hold Leopard responsible, just because we've had to come up with a solution, as I did with the metal one. They can't put the fact that we chose the wrong solution this time, or the time gone by, and even the next time, the time coming, if when we've asked them for the solution as a manufacturer, they haven't been forthcoming. That I'm not 100% happy with, and I think you would agree. So I think the position that Fange moved the block to the straight in line position to over there is very good. It really is the best thing to have it straight in that line. The problem with this though is that it isn't bending right over here. It's sitting, 4 problems. Number one, it's sitting harder on this corner. I'll show you in a minute. Number two, it's just a little bit close to the edge over here. Number three, it's running on top of the screw that's under there, so it's chafing. You can feel if you run your finger over this here, and the same when this line is loose, it actually chafes. It's pressing down hard on that over there. And then number four, it's hitting that gel coat over there. And once I put the block flat here and I could see it, I said, sorry Oaks, you've got to lift this block. So, the block has got to be the same as it was, lifted in at that angle, so that will raise this line up, it'll get it off the deck. You can see I can go right a long way up here, and then it'll turn. So that's solution number three, and I'll tell you why it's solution number three. These guys don't want to do any more work. They're going to bring a piece of plastic this shape, that piece of that HDPE, and put it here, which is not what I want. I want the proper thing to be here. So this will be, so solution number two is where they put that straight. Solution number three, they're going to put their plastic in. I'm not very excited. Actually, that needed to go much higher. That needed to go much higher. That's not really a solution. It's straight. It needs to go higher. So this was solution three. It's better than solution two, which is better than solution one. But we're going to have to get this job done properly. I asked for advice. Daniel said they've never had it before, so I never had advice here. I had to try work this out myself. I can tell you these oaks have spent somewhere around, if not upward of 30 hours, getting all of this right. This is not a problem that I made, and this becomes my question and the uncertainty with all the rumors that we hear out there. Is this going to be my cost? And if so, why? And of course you can, there isn't a reason in the world that you can blame this on me. And especially, there's no time for getting quotes when emails take so long and all of this. I can't sail, I can't fly my spinnaker, and I can't fly my code 0. I was getting this fixed. I tried what I thought would be the cheapest solution, $190, didn't work. We're now onto this. The guys have taken as long as they've taken. You know, how could they have quoted anyway? So yeah, I wouldn't accept anything other than the proper job done, which will be job number 4, but that's what it is. The most important job for the fiberglass is to build one of these. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's done under there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Millimeters,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we're looking at is the height that the rope needs to be. At the moment, the rope is at about, I reckon it needs to go to, so this roller here, the middle of the roller is about 25 above the middle of the roller, over here, in that position. It's about 25 above. I think it needs to be about 45 above.
Okay,
so
let me actually know, this house has to be leveled, right?
Yeah, we basically want to be running through here without touching anything.
Yeah.
If we do that, we got it spot on. If we touch a little bit, no problem.
Yeah, I understand.
But if we're not touching, when that rope gets, then we really hit the mark. Do you think this is solid inside or not? Because that's what worries me.
Yep. Yeah, she's solid. That has no. We're just gonna fill everything in so she got a solid thing. Plus, I am putting this down with collider silicone. So it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be like steel.
Right. It's going into the block
That's
straight.
why we work together.
So yeah.
Right.
So,
okay, so it has to be flat.
Yeah, I mean when your block is like that, you don't want your line there. You don't want it there. You want it there.
I with you.
So when this is straight, it comes in straight. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool.
Tight, the flint has to.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's going to end up being the same as this once you've cut that.
Yeah. Okay,
You've got a similar size. It's almost like that's looking straight, Bob. Look.
I find that looking good. That's why I saw earlier too. Somehow I saw that, but
What were we seeing?
oh, you know what happened when you turn the block?
You angled the block the wrong way.
Angle and the block. That's the
shit,
difference
there we
there.
go.
You see, we double check it.
So look here. Yeah,
So,
no, there's
yeah.
coming nearly in the middle. I think it still might need a little bit of angle, but angle. Okay, let's do that. Let's give it that angle. And it's perfect. We don't need to do a thing. Just shape it. And it's perfect.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. There's perfect.
I freaking know because I measured this thing.
She come through.
Yeah, she come through. Now line up that big bolt, see if that big bolt going through. Ratchet there, buddy. I just did the bead around because he wanted it to look nice like that. You know, so I did a nice bead around.
Subsequently to having been advised by Leopard that Utopia is the only boat to have this issue, we came across 3 other owners with the identical issue. We connected them via email with Leopard so that they knew that ours was not an isolated issue. Leopard agreed to a full refund of the cost for all 4 fix attempts. The main work for Bobby was molding and shaping the raised resin mount. So over and above Bobby's charge of $1,200 for my job, I paid Bobby an additional $150 to make a spare resin mount that I now have for any other Leopard 50 owner who would like to save time and can simply have the block glassed in. Additionally, Bobby's WhatsApp number in St. Martin is on the screen. About a month before we left, we found that the fuel tanks, both diesel tanks, under the beds were leaking. So, and then underway, we found that both fuel tanks were leaking again. So in other words, they repaired them in July. The warranty expires on the 28th of September. Somewhere around the 28th of September, maybe a few days before or a few days after, we found that the repair that they'd done, call it 2 months before, didn't work. So now we got the guys here in Martinique still trying to repair the factory's bugger up. So Thursday the 14th of March, and this diesel tanks were apparently fixed about a week ago, and then Melinda's put her hand under here and there's diesel. Yeah, so really quite a lot, no less than it was doing before. Now we're checking the port side for Oliver. Smell it. Looks okay, right?
Yeah, this one on this one.
Nothing on that. Feel under the thing. And this side is totally dry. So I'm not sure if Melinda's being unreasonable or anything, but she's finally getting tired of people working on the boat all the time, constantly in the cabin, everything ripped out from underneath our bed or from in our cupboards. You know, there's mattresses, and this has been like this. For me, this has been like this for 2 years. For Melinda, this has been like this for 3/4 of a year, since July last year. We're now nearly at the end of March. This is what we've got to live like. And then the factory turn around and say they're not going to take responsibility for it. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy.
Come have a look at this.
Oh my word. What was that?
Yeah, just salt water inside the underwater light box.
Oh my soul.
And it doesn't look too good.
Oh my
Show
word.
you inside.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's not working.
It's all wet in there.
Yeah, just all that is just full of water dripping. There is a gland now, but there's multiple wires going to it, so it will never seal properly. So what I'm thinking is we block that off and we actually make a side entry.
From the side, yeah. Okay, got you.
So
You can see the damage here from the water that's got in there, and that's why this LED light didn't work. That's shocking, eh? So how one problem causes another.
this is, anti-siphon
Yep.
device.
So the box
potentially
comes from where?
it's just down below here.
Right.
So that's
Okay.
the
Yeah.
gland.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is,
Okay.
and so I don't know, but maybe sometime it just squirts a little bit, a few drops, and it's enough to go right down
Yeah.
here.
Right.
I'm
So
not
what
sure,
we should
or
do is
maybe
get
it's
it.
just from the seal here. Or,
Yeah, I doubt it's from the seal. You know, it could be. I agree with
That thing leaks.
you.
that
yeah, but
latch
it leaks here. It falls here.
leaks,
So it
yeah.
actually drops out of the latch and drops right down here. So
Yeah.
this is splashing
But
that
it's
way.
all under here is full of seawater.
Okay.
So feel
okay.
here. Look, the rust there. All of this here.
From
is-
this thing
Look,
dropping.
I
Right?
don't know, but can you see that salt?
again, yeah.
Yeah.
That there is always wet from salt. So yeah.
So in Cape Town, Multimarine installed this so that you can't actually get in, and it's tight here, and over here it's even pretty difficult to get in at the radio. You can slip your hand in like this, but I'm pretty sure that we're supposed to be able to take this whole thing out and lay it down so that you can work in here, and this is what we're going to have a look at, get Harvey to have a look at. But I agree with you, they've got so many spare.
I mean, if they were labelled,
If they're labelled, you'd know, but I mean, they haven't labelled them. It's just shocking.
just
So
not easier.
basically, whatever the USB hub went to, that didn't work because it had a cabling problem. All of these had worked on and off, and I mean, you're changing them all because they've got the same connector problem. They've all got the same connector problem.
It's a missing. What a pin
So
you said.
whoever's making the connectors on that side is just not. What's he doing?
Yeah, and you're meant to put this strain relief here to actual, have a better radius rather than this.
Then just that, yeah.
It's better. I mean, it works. It worked until now.
Send a new hub all the way over, and then the other folk go and put the hub in, and they're the same problem. And they check the cabling, and it was exactly the problem you cable to our USB ports to the PC. So if we're finding this is intermittently faulty,
It is.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
you remember? We had to. We have to sometimes take the USB out of there and put them in different.
Yeah,
try
okay.
different slots. Yeah, it
We
is
might come along
faulty.
later and change it.
Yeah.
Because now we can. Okay, so you can see here that it's showing the current has been 6.7. Over here you can see that it's showing true wind speed and apparent wind speed at exactly the same. The one's just following the other briefly by about a second. But over here it's showing boat speed, so speed through water as 0 and speed over ground is 6.7. So definitely something wrong. There we go. The top one is true wind speed. I don't think you can see that. The bottom one is apparent wind speed. They're the same. The showing is nearly 9 when the speed over here, the speed over ground is nearly 7, and then speed through the water is 0, but current over there is nearly 7. This issue started in and around the time that all the issues related to the bad mask conduits started. Basically, we're still getting false STW, speed through water, as well as false TWS, true wind speed readings. And as you can see, the current vector still swings wildly. Melinda cleaned the transducer whilst we were on the hard. Then once in the water, we went through the recalibration procedure that Jason guided us through. As you can see, Harvey also had a go at cleaning the transducer wheel, as well as going for a drive to recalibrate, but also without success. I'm no expert, of course, but I'm starting to be inclined toward the possibility of a faulty transducer. But regardless, Leopard needs to ensure a good Raymarine technician in Fort Lauderdale in October when we get there to diagnose the issue once and for all. This is real time, 12th of April in the morning here. I guess it's about 2 o'clock or something like that. And you can see what the flow camera is getting. I mean, you can hardly tell, you know, where the horizon is. There's a bit of horizon there, but you're definitely not like before where I could see the waves in the water or anything like this. Hi Harvey, you can see now it's 8 o'clock, so everything's still warm out there. I mean, you can see the text is clear, but now look here, you can't even see the, you know, if you look over there, it's just a graininess, you know, you can't see what you saw today. And yeah, in another 3 or 4 hours when everything's cooler, it'll just be shocking. It already is not that good, as you can see. So you can see what I mean. You can see how that's clear, and that's just really, you know, quite a mess, you know. The story with this FLIR camera is that Leopard charged me $20,000 for it, but it's never worked since day one. In fact, the current camera was only installed in July last year, 2023, to replace the first faulty unit. The fault on that unit was the camera couldn't keep its position and would either drop into its housing or shoot up and face the sky above. This, of course, rendered it worthless. However, the quality of its nighttime infrared image was really good, even when underway. For us, the FLIR camera is supposed to be an extra set of eyes at night, for things that radar and AIS can't detect, like floating containers that could effectively sink a boat. Perhaps not a cat, but, you know, it could sink a monohull and certainly do a heck of a lot of damage to any fiberglass boat. As you can see, the replacement camera has a shocking infrared image, so it's also useless to us. Since arriving in the Caribbean last year, we've been trying to get Raymarine support. By March, I thought I might stand a better chance of Raymarine support if I give a heck of a lot of advance notice to the dealer on the island that we're going to arrive at. Prior to arriving at St. Martin, the Cape Town distributor of Raymarine, Jason at MDM, who until that point had seemed very supportive, confirmed that the contact details of the Raymarine dealer in St. Martin. We notified the St. Martin dealer nearly 3 weeks in advance of our arrival. We stayed up. We ended up staying in St. Martin for 7 weeks. But even with constant pushing in those 10 weeks, we got zero support from Raymarine. And in fact, Leopard was trying to help get support from Raymarine. I told Marcel that he needs to take the unit back and refund me. He then passed that message on to MDM. Within a few days of that, which was just before we departed St. Martin, I saw an email, one of 1,000, that showed how disorganized Raymarine support are, from Raymarine finally approving a repair or replacement. Too little, too late. They had 10 weeks opportunity to attempt a repair in St. Martin, and I've been patient. And I've been down that road, the repair road in Cape Town, where MDM sat in our saloon for months trying to work out the problem. Plus, we've been put through enough anguish with this that we refuse to be kept waiting in St. Lauderdale in October, this coming October 2024. In summary, the remaining choices for Leopard and MDM and Raymarine are to refund or replace. If Leopard don't have a replacement unit waiting in Fort Lauderdale, they must return our money. Either way, this unit needs to be removed.
Please click the subscribe and like button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it does help our channel.